Hello and welcome to tip 4 of 5 tips in 5 days. Each day we've been covering a different subject, and just a reminder, tip 1 we looked at dismissal and probation procedures. Tip 2 was all about making sure that you know who works for you and on what contract. Tip 3 was about looking at what strengthened employee rights might look like. And then tip 5 will be taking a look at ensuring you've got effective management training in place, and also that you're keeping abreast of all the latest news. Now, today, tip 4, we're going to be looking at inspections or audit. So a couple of questions for you. Have you ever had an audit on your HR or completed an audit on your HR? Do you currently go through audits for other purposes in your business? And the reason for talking about this is that in the King's Speech, the government committed to implementing a single enforcement body called the Fair Work Agency, essentially to monitor the enforcement of workplace rights. This was part of the Employment Rights Bill that they announced. The government have also stated, as part of their New Deal for Working People, that this body would include trade union and TUC representation, essentially to ensure greater coordination in the face of complex enforcement challenges. And the body would have the powers it needs to undertake targeted and proactive enforcement work, as well as bring civil proceedings, which is something that you need to be really aware of. Now, all of this is not necessarily new. The previous governments had already looked at this and consulted on something very similar, but it just didn't make it through into law. The prior Conservative government, their plans, it would have brought together HMRC's National Minimum Wage Enforcement Unit, the Gangmasters and Labour Abuse Unit, as well as the Employment Agency Standards Inspectorate. Now, that could all still be the case with the new government's plans. We just need to wait and see the detail of that, because it sounds like Labour intend to go further. So let's have a think about what this might mean for you. Now, inspections and audits are a little bit uncomfortable anyway. I know I've been through several, both internal and external audits, and they're particularly uncomfortable because it's a kind of a weird situation to be in. And then you come to the end of it, and then you've got a list of things to do. And you think, well, I was doing a great job, or I thought I was doing a great job, and I've still got to do all of these bits and pieces that you've put forward. Now, don't worry, because let's be honest, it is an auditor's job to find improvements or observations. It's absolutely fine if you get them. And if you've got audits already happening in your business, maybe for health and safety, you've got ISO standards, or maybe there's some professional standards that you are checked or audited against, then this would be something that is not unfamiliar to you. The inspection powers and what will happen, we will have to wait, as I said, and see what comes out in the detail. Now, if you do have internal auditors in place at the moment already, then they could help you put an audit timetable together, so to extend some of those inspections or audits that they're already undertaking. But be really clear with them on what you expect them to do. You will need to be careful with employee records for GDPR reasons. There may be some information in those records that they will not be eligible to see. So just make sure that you're very, very clear on what the parameters are for those audits. But don't be scared to ask for help. You know, if you've got internal auditors, you can talk with them. If you might look to use an external HR partner, then chat with them as to see what they can do and how they can help. Because let's be honest, it's much better if you can pull those rocks up and see what's underneath yourself, even if you don't quite like what you find, you've then got time to put improvements in place and track what those improvements have resulted in. So don't worry, at least then you can do something about it. And it's much better to have looked and have a plan than done nothing at all. Now, what might some of those things be? Let's bring this all together. We'll have a look at what current audits you have in your business at the moment. Can you extend them? Might you add to that? So rather than extending any, you have new audits that you want to take place. Now, it doesn't have to be a huge activity. You don't have to have a ream of things you want to look at. Just start with one area. Just pick one and take a look at that. You might want to use tip 2 about reviewing who works for you and on what contract, or tip 1, looking at your dismissal and probation procedures. So those could be good places to start, and have another look at the videos if you'd like some help. Once you've got that detail together, put an audit plan in place. When are you going to audit? How often are you going to follow up? Who's going to do the audit for you? How are you going to collate the action plan and check in to make sure it's being completed, as well as the progress? And once you've done that, don't stop there. Keep auditing, keep taking a look to make sure that you can identify future improvements. And as I say, just start with one thing and expand out from there. The best thing to do is to make a start. So those are my thoughts and ideas. I'd love to hear what are the suggestions you have. If you would take different action, if you're actually planning on doing something differently yourself, let me know in the comments, and also let me know how you get on. If you've got any questions or concerns, or would like to chat about undertaking HR audit, please direct message me, give me a call or email. Absolutely great. I'll put the details in the comments to be able to book an appointment with me directly. Now, tip 5 we'll be covering tomorrow, where we'll look at making sure you have effective manager training in place. So join me for that. But it doesn't end there. Through September, I've got 2 webinars going on. On the 3rd, we'll be taking a look at the Employment Rights Bill, and on the 17th, the changes that will be coming into effect in October 2024. So this year. I'll put all of the details and links to register in the comments. So as I said, that's tip 4. Any questions, let me know. Any concerns, please do get in touch. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you for tip 5. Bye now.